It is pretty well established that culture affects our thinking, values and behaviour. In fact, it affects everything we do. It is also generally accepted that it is easier to see differences in other people than in ourselves. Often we can't recognise our own culture because it is so much part of us. Needless to say, most of us think that what we see and believe is the right or only way, and this often leads us to make judgments of people who think or behave differently. This is a tendency common to all of us, but it is particularly prevalent for those of us who belong to the largest dominant group, mainly because this is the population group that has the greatest influence on our society. As you may have discussed in other units and will read in the literature, there is much diversity between cultures, and it is acknowledged that many subcultures exist within larger groups. Even Australia's mainstream culture may comprise of different subcultures or cultural groups. To offer an appropriate and effective health service, it is important to recognise that not all groups think like you do. When differences between cultural groups are appreciated, it is often possible to generalise about certain attributes amongst those groups. However, you must be mindful to not stereotype, and that is assuming that everyone within that subgroup or who is a member of that cultural group will behave the same. One of my favourite authors, Odette Best, describes worldview as being the template that guides and determines the ways in which people see the world. Worldview influences how people make sense of their own world.